What is going on, guys? It's your boy Chris here, back with a video. Not gonna take up too much time today. I just want to do a real quick recap on my thoughts on WrestleMania this weekend. Obviously, there was some big news that came out, and I'll get to that in a second. But the basic rundown is this: Night one was kind of garbage. The Cody Randy match was okay. The extracurricular stuff with McAfee was, it was fine. He was all right. He did a good job doing what he did. It was what it was. It wasn't. Nothing was great. I will say this: ISHO Speed has potential. The dude's super athletic, and he's actually not bad in there. So I don't mind if he sticks around. I don't mind. As a full to Logan Paul, I don't mind it at all. He's not bad. The women's tag match was Paige coming back was kind of, it got spoiled, but it was nice to see. I'm gonna be honest, like it was nice to see her come back and get the reception she got because she's been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she really has, and it was good to see her come back and do her thing. It was nice. So there's that. Like I said, Cody and Randy was alright. Wasn't great. Um, Night two was the better of the two, clearly. Better matches. I'm at the point now where they need to just make WrestleMania one night and put the best matches on the one night. And if you're not good enough to be on the card, you're not good enough to be on the fucking card. Sorry, not sorry. I will shout out Roxanne Perez. Damn, bro. All I'm gonna say is damn. That's all I can say on that. Damn. In the tag match, women's tag match. Or the match with Liv and Stephanie Vaquer. Good lord. Liv Morgan's song is kind of like Britney Spears terrible, but it's catchy in a way that it's like the song is bad, but it's also equally catchy, and the dancing and stuff is like it's literally '90s pop singer shit. It's stupid, but it's all right. But like I said, Roxanne Perez, if you know, you know. Good God. Anyway, Liv Morgan won the match. I was kind of shocked by that outcome. But the shocker, obviously the main event on night two, Roman and Punk had one of the best. I don't want to say Punk carried that match, but Punk carried that match. I mean, he told the fucking story in there, and he led Roman along, and Roman followed properly, and it told a great story. It was a really good fucking match. It really was. The Jade Cargill showed she can work, man. Cause I don't know what it was with Rhea, but I don't know whether it's the lost muscle, but she didn't look as good as she normally does, like in the ring. And for real, Jade dwarfed her size wise. I was like, God damn. Is Jade really that big? Jade is big. Like, she was bigger. Like, she dwarfed Rhea. I'm like, oh my God. And she actually showed she could work a fucking match. Like, Jade can work. When given the right stuff to do, like, she's actually not bad. Rhea won the match, however. Io almost had her titties pop out of her top. Because she's wearing one of those strapless tops, holder top thingies, and she didn't move, and we almost saw Io's skies there, so that was, literally like that, they almost came out full on, and it, not even like a JC Jane at Stand and Deliver, where they kept popping out, and they kept blacking it out. This was like great. It would have been like a one and done. You to pull the top right back up over him. And she kind of covered up real quick, so it wouldn't have happened, or you wouldn't have noticed it, you wouldn't have caught anything. But yeah, CM Punk and Roman had a great fucking match. But the big story coming out of night two was the Obafemi Brock Lesnar match. And you're gonna give me a minute here because I gotta talk about this. Going into the match, I kept saying to everyone that knows me knows this. If Brock doesn't put this fucking dude Obafemi over, fuck him and burn the fucking company down. Because he needed to put over Roman, or I mean Oba. He needed to put Oba over and make Oba look good. Brock not only did that, he made Obafemi look like $1,000,000. He built that kid in one night in one match. Um, a new star has been made in Obafemi. Um, it was a good for what it was. It wasn't a long match, and it didn't need to be between two big fucking no bread, no water, just meat guys. Big meaty men slapping meat. That's what that was. Big men with big chests and big muscles bumping meat. That's what that match was, and that's what it needed to be. From the lockup at the beginning to powering each other down and him just powering Brock down, just like boom, and then him no-selling the clotheslines, like nah, come on, hit me again. And he hits him again, and he's like nah. And Brock comes off of the clothesline and he hits him again. He's like, that's not going to do it, brother. He comes off again, he shoulder him down, and you see Brock just doing the little things to build up Oba as the next guy, the next mountain, the ruler that he is meant to be. And he hits him with an F5, and people are saying that he didn't sell the F5. If you didn't realize he was selling, you're fucking stupid. He was selling the move by struggling to get up. Like he took the move and he's just trying to he gets to his knee like and he's kind of cramming to get up, and Brock's kind of like turned around, not looking at him. Then he sees like Oba's up on his feet, like oh shit, and he hits him with the fucking choke slam, picks him up, hits him with the what is it the hands of fate power bomb, hits him 1, 2, 3, match is over. Crowd explodes. Oba's beating his chest and just like, I mean, he's beating his chest like a fucking, I don't want to say gorilla, but it was like a gorilla. I feel bad saying that because he's a fellow brother, but he was just like, yeah, and you're just like, yes, this is what we needed. This is what it needed to be. And then like you see him leave the ring, you see him kind of take the crown and tip it to Brock and put it back on, and you're like, okay. And then Brock sits up. He's kind of on the he's kind of on the side, and he's like, shit, I just lost. He just got me. And then Brock takes off his gloves. And he starts unlacing his boots. He's unlacing his boots. You see him get choked up because he effectively announces his retirement in that moment after the match. He puts his boots and his gloves in the middle of the ring. Paul Heyman gets in the ring. It's kind of shocked. Brock does the X sign to let him know, like, nah, this is real. This is not part of the script. I'm done. They hug. He lifts his arms up. He bows, and then he leaves. And Brock Lesnar has retired from professional wrestling. For a guy who has been around as long as I have, there have been very few people who have been able to do what Brock has done in his life, in his career. Coming from his amateur background in college, being a national champion, coming into pro wrestling, leaving pro wrestling, going into the NFL, trying out for the Minnesota Vikings, making it to the last cut, Because they were going to put him on the practice squad, and he wanted to play right away. So he turned it down. But they wanted to keep him. Going into MMA, becoming the world heavyweight champion, and being a dominant force in MMA until the diverticulitis hit. Now, for those who don't know, diverticulitis is very serious. It can be fatal. He almost died. Like Kenny Omega recently had with diverticulitis. He almost died. And I recently said this about Kenny Omega, and I'm just going to sidetrack to Kenny real quick. I said that he's not the same guy he once was, that he was in Japan. And I said, like, injuries and in time, like, Father Time is undefeated. And it comes for everybody. I meant it when I said that. And it was not a slight at Kenny Omega. It was not disrespect to Kenny Omega. It's just saying the truth. Father Time comes for all of us, and Father Time does not lose. Undefeated for a reason. No matter how great you once were, at some point you're not going to be that guy anymore. And that's what I was saying about Kenny Omega, and I was not slighting him. But I think the guy I was talking to understands what I was saying, and I've clarified what I meant when I said it. And he understands where I'm coming from, and he knows where I'm coming from. And me and this guy have always had a decent back and forth discussions about stuff, and he understands where I'm coming from, and I always understand where he's coming from, and we're always respectful of each other in those debates. And he's a good dude, and he's a good dude. We don't always see the eye to eye on everything, but I'll always hear him out, and he always hears me out. And it's always respectful, and it's always decent between the two of us. And it's always been that way, and it will always be that way. So I want to put that out there. But we were talking about Kenny Omega in regards to the diverticulitis and how, time comes for everybody. But for Brock to come back from diverticulitis, he wasn't the same fighter he was in UFC after that. And it's known he wasn't the same guy after that. He just wasn't. And he wasn't going to be. He comes back to wrestling. People give him shit for being like a part-time guy, but, the deal he was given at the time was the deal he was given. He was given those limited dates. Roman Reigns has limited dates on his contract. No one bitches about that. But Brock always catches shit like, he has limited dates. It's not their fault. They got to use him properly to keep him around for big shit. So he's not there. Like, book your program properly. The fuck are we talking about? But Brock is a guy that yes, you can talk about the Janelle Grant stuff and all that stuff. You can bring that up if you want to. I'm not here to talk about that because at the end of the day, he never met with her and he never did anything. That's just fact. He didn't meet with her. He didn't do anything to her. And no asking for a tape of her peeing, while gross, is not doing anything to her. She sent the tape. I mean, that's on her. She didn't have to send it. She did that of her own volition. She chose to send that tape. She could have not done it. Brock's like, ugh, you're a nasty bitch. And that was pretty much that. He never met with her. He never got in touch with her. He never did anything to her physically. And this is all court documented. So Brock never physically did anything to this woman. He never met up with her. Nothing ever happened. That's fact. You can argue with a wall. We're not arguing about what could have happened, what he's alleged to have done. He didn't do anything to her. You can bring up the plane ride from hell. That he did do, and it was fucking wrong, and he was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have exposed himself to Terry Reynolds. That's fucking gross. He shouldn't have done that. And I'll say that to anybody. That's fucking wrong. He was wrong for that. End of discussion. But, those are two transgressions in a career. If you've never done something stupid when you were younger or done something stupid, cast the first stone. I know I have. I've done lots of dumb shit. I've never whipped my dick out at somebody, but somebody else's stupid shit, somebody else's stupid shit. Everybody's stupid shit's not going to be the same thing. So, you know, you can say what you want about that. And that's fair to say that. If you want to use that against him, you're free to do so. However, Brock Lesnar is going to go down as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. You could argue whatever you want to argue about him. The numbers speak for themselves. Multi-time world champion. Not only here, but in Japan. He won the New Japan IWGP title. People forget about that. He's a former UFC World Heavyweight Champion. One of the biggest box office draws in the history of the business. A freak athlete. A wrestling national champion in amateur wrestling, collegiate wrestling. Agile enough that they were shooting star press in his prime. Yes, he almost broke his neck at WrestleMania doing it in the Kurt Angle match. But before that, there's clips of him doing it. And it's amazing seeing a guy his size be able to do that shit. It's fucking crazy. But he could do it. So, yeah. Brock Lesnar, freak athlete. Freak athlete, one of the best to ever do it. Period. And I've always been a fan of Brock. I will always be a fan of Brock. I love the guy. Period. I love the athleticism. I love the realness. I love that he was just a bad motherfucker. Like, just a badass. And at the end of the day, he's a guy that just was like, hey, man, I just, like... At the end of the day, I'm just a fucking dude. Like, I live on my farm with my family. I don't like to be bothered. I go about my business. And there was a side that he didn't stay around and hang out for shows. Turned out it wasn't true. He was always backstage hanging out and talking with people that he liked. And he is a guy that if he liked you, he made you look good. If he worked with you and he liked you, he did everything he could to have a good match. If he didn't like you, you caught hell. He clearly liked Obafemi because he put him over. He clearly sees something in the kid because he put him over. He liked AJ Styles because he worked well with him. Liked CM Punk because he worked well with him. Or worked well with John Cena. Must have liked him. Worked well with Daniel Bryan. Must have liked him. The only person he didn't work well with. Worked well with Seth Rollins. Must have liked him. Worked well with Roman Reigns. Must have liked him. The only person he didn't really seem to like that he worked with was Jon Moxley. And looking where Jon Moxley is now and what he's doing, I think we all can say Brock may have been dead ass fucking right about Jon Moxley. Because if Jon Moxley wasn't a dipshit, you know, I mean, his work speaks for itself. I don't think I need to really dog the guy too much here. But Jon Moxley's work speaks for itself, and Brock, pretty much when they worked together, was like, yeah, I got all these ideas, Brock, and he's like, yeah, no. Suplex City F5, bitch. And if you try anything funny, I'll fucking murder you. I think Paul Heyman said it best, like, ask Jon Moxley what it's like to be on the bad side of Brock Lesnar. If Brock doesn't like you, he makes it known he doesn't like you. Ask Matt Riddle what he thinks about Brock Lesnar's feelings towards him. If you remember that Goldberg clip, or Goldberg's like, I'm not your bro, dude. I'm not your bro. Like, Brock was like, we will never work together. I will never work with you. Keep my fucking name out your mouth. Or suffer the consequences. And I think if Matt Riddle kept talking shit about Brock, Brock might have broken him in half. Okay? Like, I'll just put it out there. If Matt Riddle kept talking about Brock, Brock would have murdered him. Okay? That's just facts. Yes, Matt Riddle can fight, but so can Brock. And Brock's way bigger and probably surprisingly quicker. And he has an amateur wrestling background. He'd probably murderfy Matt Riddle. He'd bend him like a fucking like bend him in half, dude. Like, fuck out of here. So, as far as Brock goes, as someone who is a fan of yours, who has been a fan pretty much from day one, from the day he first came up from OVW, I've been a fan of Brock Lesnar. I've been a fan his whole career. I followed him in UFC. I followed him everywhere. Thank you, Brock. Some people will see this video and they will be like, oh my God, you're thanking a sexual predator. I'm thanking him for his work in wrestling. I'm thanking Brock, the wrestler, not Brock Lesnar, the man. But even there, I'll thank Brock Lesnar, the man, because without the man, we don't have the fucking wrestler. So I guess I am thanking Brock Lesnar. Think what you want. I don't give a fuck. My video, my opinion. You can put out your own video, give your own fucking opinion. But in my opinion, I'm a Brock fan. I love Brock. And I appreciate the 20 plus years he's been in the business. Randy Orton's the last one left from that class of OVW. Well, actually, no. Shelton Benjamin's still around, too. But Shelton Benjamin's still wrestling. So Shelton Benjamin and Randy Orton are the last two from the OVW class that they all came from, still active. Batista's been gone for a minute. John Cena just retired. Brock just retired. Randy and Shelton are the last two standing from that OVW class. And it's crazy to think about that. I honestly thought Randy would have been done by now too. But he's still around. He's still going strong. Shelton Benjamin, still out there, still a fucking phenomenal freak of nature type guy. Because he still looks great. Looks great, can still fucking go. Like, God damn, that dude's impressive. But those guys are still at it. Bobby Lashley was the next class up. He's still going. But for real, like Randy Orton and Shelton Benjamin are the last two from that particular OVW class. They're still active. And that's wild to think about. That they're the last two left. But Orton was like one of the youngest guys there. So he's only like... Because people forget, Brock's pushing 50. Either pushing 50, is 50. Like, he's up there in age. Like, him and Orton's pushing like mid-40s, mid to late 40s. He might be my age, maybe a little bit younger. I know John Cena's like 40, like just turned like 48, 49. CM Punk is my age exactly. He's 47. So he's my age. AJ Styles was like 48, 49. So, you know, those guys, we're losing, and that generation of guys is up there. They're going to start retiring soon. Or the ones that are left are going to hang it up soon too. So, yeah. It's crazy to think about that, but, you know, thank you, Brock. Thank you, Brock. Thank you for the years of entertainment. Thank you for the years of giving up your body to entertain us. Best wishes in your retirement, man. That's all I gotta say. I'm honestly like emotional about it because like I said, these are guys that are my age. Seeing guys my age retire is a fucking kick to the dick in a way. It's just like, god damn. A whole generation, my generation of guys, they're going out, you know? And that's fucking wild. But here we are. So yeah, that's all I got for this one. Appreciate the guys that are still here while they're still here. Appreciate your Randy Ortons. Appreciate your Shelton Benjamins. Appreciate your Bobby Lashley's and your MVPs. On the same token, appreciate your Kenny Omegas. Because, like I said, that dude almost died. Appreciate guys like Kenny Omega who are still going out there, and even that his like current state is better than most people's primes. Like, it's crazy. So, you know, just keep in mind, appreciate these guys while they're still here. Appreciate guys like Nakamura. Appreciate guys like Okada. Appreciate guys like, well, Tanahashi, who just retired. Fuck. Appreciate guys like them because they're coming up on at the end. They're closer to the end than they are the beginning. So appreciate them while you got them. Anyway, that's all I've got for this video. I'm gonna get off of here. I got shit to do. But anyway, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.